Shopify has just come out with some of the most intense updates I've seen to date. And in this video, I'm going to go over exactly what these updates are and what it means for you as a Shopify store owner. Now, along with owning my own Google Ads agency handling multiple e-commerce brands running on Shopify, I also still run my own e-commerce brand, which also, surprise, surprise, runs on Shopify. And these newest Shopify updates, I personally believe, really took the game to the next level. Now, the reality is there's a lot of different updates Shopify came through with this update. As you can see on my screen, there's a total of 9 different updates. However, for the sake of this video, I want to go over only a select few updates which I personally believe have the biggest impact on normal Shopify store owners. Now, some of these things, if you're on Shopify Plus or any of the advanced plans that offer them, you're already pretty familiar with how things work in that sense. So it might not be as big surprise for you. Like, for example, one of the biggest ones was directly related to the cart page and boosting conversions, with specifically also the checkout page. But if you're on Shopify Plus, you already have a one-page checkout, so it's not too much of a big deal for you. But the main ones I want to cover are the following. Let's start off with the first biggest update, which is the one-page checkout. Now, this is super important for a variety of different reasons. Number one thing, a lot of e-commerce store owners have paid page building softwares just to be eligible to use a one-page checkout. With the Shopify update, however, now almost everybody has access to a one-page Shopify checkout, and this is going to change the game forever. Now, what this means for your brand is you no longer have to rely on those 2-page, 3-page checkouts, which have more than normal drop-off rates. I mean, the only reason why your conversion rate might be at 1%, 2% is probably because of the checkout page itself. You might notice on your back end that majority of the drop-off happens on the checkout page. So this one-page checkout is really gonna take out the time between clicking different buttons, between going from one page to the next, and just taking action, which is reaching the thank you page, clicking that purchase button after everything has been filled out within the page itself. The two major things which Shopify itself mentions is that there will now be fewer fields to enter, making it faster for customers to complete their purchase. And you might be thinking, so what? What's the big deal about making it faster? The biggest deal is the smaller the amount of time is between going on the checkout page and purchasing, the less the time the customer has to think if they're making the right decision or not. Because let's be honest, 90% of purchases done, they're just done on a whim of notice. Nobody really thinks about it, especially if it doesn't cost too much, essentially. So everything else is done pretty much with 2 to 3 seconds of thinking, and the more you make the customer think whether they're making the right decision or not, the less likely they will be to continue purchasing, which explains the drop-off rate. Number two thing which Shopify mentions, fewer page loads means less friction for customers, which leads to a higher conversion. It's all about the friction. It's all about making your customers think less and just go with the funnel you have laid out. You should already be able to do so within settings directly, because on this specific page, after you click that link, it just says that you can start your free trial. So this means that essentially that page has already kind of been laid out, and you should be able to enable those one-page checkout. But this kind of brings us to the next Shopify update, which I think is a big game changer. It is the drag and drop checkout editor. Now, I don't know about you, but I love to edit my checkout pages, make them seamless, make them flow well, and most important of all, make them be different from everybody else, because that's how you find great success with e-commerce. It's by making your pages different from your competitor. So this drag and drop editor is going to make it 10 times easier for you to just change different things up on the checkout page, change the layout, change the colors, theme, etc., and give a more personalized approach to your customers. Now, if we click on this link right here, it's gonna take us to this page which explains more about how to use the checkout editor, setting it up, customizing, managing the live and draft checkout, so on and so forth. So this page is really ideal for you, and it tells you exactly what you can access. So things like the branding section, things like customization section, and more and more. And shop pay, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of interesting things which you can edit. But the two main reasons why Shopify personally thinks, and also why I believe this is such a good thing, is because now you can make it more personalized by adding your brand's logos, colors, images, so on and so forth directly to the checkout page itself. And you can install checkout apps that actually integrate with the editor. So if there's any other apps like after sale or other post-purchase, pre-purchase apps which you have, they do integrate with this checkout editor seamlessly. So it's not gonna be a big deal for you to get that going. But I personally believe that's one of the biggest steps Shopify has taken to date, because it really helps you give that personalized touch to your e-commerce brand, which is gonna help you scale to the next level. But if we scroll down now to the next biggest update, it has to do with meta objects. Now, previously, you still did have the ability to edit things, add headers, add banners, so on and so forth. But I believe this new meta objects update really takes things to the next level. And if we read what it says create reusable custom content like a shoppable gallery, product highlights, cart upsells, and more with meta objects. So essentially, you can integrate external content within your Shopify homepage or wherever you were using this to edit your store and have external things added to yours. So it's going to be a real big game changer, simply because it's going to let you add a lot of things which you probably could not have done before. And as a result, it's going to really help you make your website much more fancy. Now, do I think you need to make it super fancy? Not really, but it should still be more directed towards your audience members. The kinds of images that they like, the kinds of objects that they want on your website should still be there. I mean, if we look right here, there's a collab section on this page. There's product FAQs that you can now add with the meta objects editor, collection banners that you can add, which I think is very interesting, because now you can add this directly to the collection page, and it's gonna really kind of streamline the entire process in terms of design and really help you get a more customizable approach. But those three are essentially the biggest updates I personally believe that Shopify has added. Now there's a bunch of other updates as well, such as apps for every checkout. If we scroll down, there's more, such as getting creative with checkout extendability and so on and so forth, more checkout features. But I personally believe those main three ones which we went over, if you end up using them correctly for your e-commerce brand, can help your brand go to the next level without spending more money on ads, without hiring more people, and all of those things which are, quote, normal in terms of scaling your brand to the next level. But of course, that doesn't mean that you should just let those things be and never hire again or never run more ads. You should definitely be doing that, but these Shopify updates make it easier now to improve your conversion rates, give a better, more personalized approach to your customer, and as a result, help out with the ads. But if you're doing $40,000 or more per month in revenue, you need just a little bit of extra help scaling your brand to the next level. Go on to my website at yourmarketing.com and book a free call with me to see how we can possibly work together and make that happen. But if you really want to explode your sales with your e-commerce brand, the first step for you is to build a strong foundation. And I want you to check out this video on the right side of your screen, which goes over 5 different Google Merchant Center optimization tips and tricks, which can help you build that strong foundation and help you scale to the next level.